Hi, so apparently this is my first video, so I'm just gonna say hi. And already I fucked it up a little bit because I started with this repair of this beautiful Sansui tuner receiver 1000X. It had one channel blown. These transistors, I changed the left channel, I think it is. Oh, yeah. And the other channel worked fine, so I just had to change both of these. They were really hard to find, so I couldn't find a matched pair of these original capacitors, transistors, so I used two different ones. I hope that doesn't make that much of a difference. I hope it works fine. It should be alright. What I'm also going to do is to recap the little driver board that went in here, which is very convenient because you just take it out and you can work on it. And the caps in it, I mean, this unit was made in the early 70s, I think. So all the caps on here, which appear to be the originals, are more than 45 years old, I think, or something like that. I'm also going to replace, I don't know if you can see it through the camera, shit. There are the notorious C458 transistors hiding in there, which are prone to fail, and they are known to fail. They are known to be prone to fail, so to say. I'm going to replace those with a newer model transistor with an equivalent newer model, which I'm going to show you later. Okay, I'm gonna have a look into my parts bin if I can find all the caps I need, and the transistors I'm sure I have. I ordered these, and I just rebuild this board, I think, and then we'll have a nice test of the unit. So now, while my soldering iron is heating up, I'm going to show you a little trick I learned from experience, or maybe from some other YouTube videos, I guess. The capacitors in the corners here, no, it's not focusing at all. I'm not gonna say fuck, but focus. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently you can't see it, but they are 100 microfarad 25 volt capacitors. I'm gonna replace those with these nice Panasonic, which are really good for audio stuff, I heard, and they never fail on me. I've been doing this for quite a while now. They are 100 microfarad and 35 volts, so they are a bit higher rated volt-wise, which is good because they're gonna last longer. Make sure you use the same or nearly the same farad rating though, otherwise the whole circuit is not gonna work as it's supposed to work. So I think I'm gonna heat up my soldering iron and get to work. I think I have all the parts I need in my parts bin. I'm not gonna film this because if you're starting to do something like this, I think you know how to solder. It's really not that. I'm using solder wick, get a nice solder wick for this, and then I'm just moving along. And I'm doing it capacitor by capacitor to make sure I get the direction right. and take the right part that belongs in this position. Just take your time. It's gonna take some time. Be sure to not damage the board. Sometimes I was a bit too impatient and broke some traces on the board, which with these old boards happens if they are a bit corroded. I don't know if they are glued together or something, but in my experience with these old receivers and amplifiers, sometimes these boards break off, these leads, these traces break off really easily if you pull out the part from the other side. So just be careful. I try to not damage this because I kind of like this receiver and want to see it back in action. Okay, I'm gonna get to work and see what I can do. Oh, and another tip, I just started soldering. Yeah, I have the first cap in place. It's a fair bit smaller than the old one, due to advances in technology, that is. These pads, I use SolderWick to get the solder out, which is apparently quite easy on these old boards because there's none of this lead-free solder rubbish. It's just gonna flow quite well with help of the flux in the SolderWick, and you can suck it out, and then you can take the old part out on the other side by carefully wiggling it around and pulling on it carefully because you don't want to damage the board. Yeah, and then what I usually do before I solder in the new part, I have this isopropyl alcohol, and the most important part, I have this old toothbrush which I borrowed from my son. No, I just got an old one he doesn't use anymore, hopefully. No, it's his old one. I asked him if I can get it to him for my electronic stuff. So I just spray this. I hope it's not that good with the camera. So, and then I basically rub it clean, and the alcohol vaporizes. Gives a nice smell too. Then I can start to solder in the new part, which I won't do with one hand while holding the camera, so I have to turn it off. Oh, and another soldering tip from someone who has done it quite some times. I built this little air purifier, which is nothing but a PC fan that I had laying around with a plug pack that delivers 12 volts and these filter, which is an air filter for, I don't know what for, maybe for kitchen use or something. Make sure it's an air purifier with the I don't know what it's called in English apparently. It's Aktivkohle. Maybe it's active coal or something in English. I don't know. It's the standard air filter which you get in these masks for paint jobs and stuff like that. I don't know where to get it the cheapest from, but you can just cut it to the size. These covers are available from your PC retailer for the fans. Yeah, and I just put it whenever I'm soldering on something. I just put it on my bench, on my desk, and so that the fumes don't get into my system. Apparently, are blown away from me a bit. Because I have the experience, if you solder on something like this, it takes quite a lot of time, and you forgot about the time and inhale the fumes the whole time for hours, and one or two times I felt really sick afterwards. Nothing permanent, I hope, but I was just I felt as if I could puke. It was not so nice. So I really recommend getting a thing like this, at least, or at least a fan that blows the smoke away, so you don't inhale all this stuff, because it's not healthy, believe me. Another thing, maybe use good solder. It's I use 60/40 all the time. Nothing lead free, because it just doesn't work that well, and it's totally fine if you use leaded solder for private use. So I recommend this stuff. It's Stanol, you get it in Germany. It's a really good brand. I really like this, and I recommend you to try out some, if you're just starting, try out some different diameters. I use 0.8 millimeters here, which is for very not very fine stuff. It's really good, I think, in my experience, but it differs from person to person, I think. I really like this. The Stanol stuff is really good in my experience. I tried some brands, and this smells nice, as if it's not that unhealthy, and it works fine. The flux in it is really good, and it just feels alright for me. I don't know, try something, but use a brand. Don't use the cheap stuff. No, I don't recommend using the cheap stuff, that's all I want to say. Buy some, it will last you some years, maybe, if you get a great amount, and it's not that expensive to get proper solar, and it pays out. It's just a much finer experience. Get a proper soldering iron, a station or something like that. That's also, I used the Valor, which I got for 50 euros or so from eBay, which was a lucky thing, because normally these are, in new they are like 300 euros, which I wouldn't recommend buying, but you get them sometimes if they are quite crusty and dirty and old. Still get them. They never fail in my experience, and they are just, it's just a good investment if you want to make this your hobby. And it's such a improvement from cheap R's, no-name soldering irons, that I just highly recommend. If you want to solder for halfway reasonable stuff, you just get one of those Wellers, or I don't know, the American equivalent is Heiko or something like that. I don't know what the Heiko is the brand, I think. Maybe there are some other brands which have a good reputation. Get one of those. They're really, really good stuff, and not to be compared with the cheap stuff. Just get some bucks out for the stuff. You will never regret it, I think, if you try, if you solder more often than once a month or something. Get one of those good things. So back to my repair job here. I'm just drifting away on a stream of consciousness. This is my first video. I think I start enjoying it already without uploading it. So let's just finish this repair and see if it works or if it blows up. I just switched the camera off again because I can't hold it and solder at the same time. At least I don't want to try. So as you can see, I'm nearly finished recapping this little driver board. Only I don't have these caps in stock. These are 33 microfarads, and I don't have any of those left. So I'm gonna order these parts. In the meantime, I might check if all the resistors have the right values, and I use my multimeter, and I'm gonna do this in circuit for the sake of just measuring if they are alright or if something's shorted out or open. If there's some suspicious activity going on, I'm gonna unsolder the part and give it a proper measurement, but for the sake of it, I'm just gonna have a quick check if everything's halfway in order. So I finished testing all the stuff on this board, and all the transistors left seem to be at least not shorted. The resistors seem to have the same values on both channels. The thing you want to do is this is really clearly to be seen that this is just a board that is mirrored this line here, and you want to compare the values you get measuring here and on the other side on the corresponding part, which I think I got everything measured with my trusty multimeter here, and I think everything seems to be quite alright. The thing left to do now is to exchange these little pain in the ass transistors that are known to be the reason for many a problem like hum or hiss or something like that in the pre-amplification stages of many an old amplifier. So I'm gonna exchange these for apparently much more modern SC1845, which are originally made by Fairchild. I think, I don't know. No, these are not originals, but they will do the job, I think. Yeah. Oh, they're marked with FC, so I suppose they are original Fairchild. So these are quite okay transistors. I got 20 pieces of them because these 458 things are built into many amplifiers and receivers from the 70s, which I plan on repairing quite a lot of. So I got some of those to check it out. What I didn't check is if the pin out is exactly the same. I suppose it should be, but I just have to double check that with the data sheet on the internet. Hang on. So I now have the data sheet for the modern version, the ones I got as a replacement, and as you can see, we have the one is the emitter, so they are pin compatible, I guess. So here you can see the markings on the board, the emitter, the middle one has to be the collector, and the B on the right side on this little thing is the base. So these are pin compatible with the 1845 I got as a replacement. So I'm gonna try replacing those with new ones, and then we're fit to make a first test run. I don't want to wait for the... I ordered these. I want to test it before. I think these are fine. They measured okay. They seem to be alright. So I just check it out with these old capacitors in place and see if it's working at all. And when the parts arrive, I just get this board out again and replace those as well. These 33 microfarad caps, I think. So I'm gonna replace the transistors now without holding the camera. So I just finished recapping and retransistoring this little board. with these new, you can't read it from this side, this new SC1845 transistors. You can hardly see it. And I'm going to reinstall it here into this receiver now. So I think it goes into here. It goes in this way, I suppose. So I found the bracket with which I will be able to tie this down. This goes in here, this. So there are the screw holes. I just get this right, and I think I can't screw the screws in without letting the camera go. So apparently, because the left channel had this problem with the blown transistors, the fuse did blow naturally, because that's what it's for basically, to blow before everything else blows up, if there's a short. And the transistors were dead short. The old ones, I have them here apparently, which they're quite good Toshiba brand transistors, but after 40 plus years and maybe use and abuse of this thing, they just failed, I suppose. And if one of them fails, the other one gets a lot to do, so to say, and fails in a matter of seconds most of the times. Yeah, so I replaced those, as I said, with non-matched, different brand ones, which I suppose should work at least better than shorted transistors. So let's see if we can find a fuse. It's a 2.5 ampere. Okay, let's see if I can find it. Hey, and sure enough, I had one. It was one of two kinds of fuses I have in my parts bin. So luckily, they seem to be very common in amplifiers and stuff like that. I bought them for another. I think I bought them for Hitachi amp I repaired, which also had kind of the same problem with the blown power amp stage, which was a hybrid chip in this case. I replaced that and some transistors and it was fine. And I had to get these fuses because they were blowing. And I blew quite a few of them because it was one of the first amplifiers I repaired. Apparently it was the first, I think. And I didn't have any experience, so I blew quite a few of these fuses and I got a bigger pack of those. Luckily there's still some left, so maybe we can blow some of them before this apparently works right. So maybe now is the moment of truth. Let's see if we can get it to work. So I have this whole thing set up. The screws are in, the transistors are in. I recapped the little driver board, I guess. The whole unit looks in nice shape now. I sprayed some of the ports and switches, which I could reach now for this quick test. And I connected these really cheap Ars speakers. At least they're Kenwood. I guess that means the shit because they're from a really cheap compact stereo thing. A friend of mine wanted to throw them away basically, and they're now my test gear for amplifiers. I'm not sure what they do. So, and I got this isolation transformer hooked up with roughly about 110 volts, which is half of what this unit can take. So I'm gonna plug it in and see what it does. The reduced voltage I'm using is because I don't want everything to blow up, because these transistors were really expensive. So let's see what it does on half the voltage it is designed to take. The moment of truth. Maybe smoke, maybe not. No smoke yet. No, doesn't seem to be smoking. So maybe we can connect some audio to it. So I now have this receiver running at a full 230 volts, I think, still on the isolation transformer, but on its full voltage, and it still didn't blow. And if I turn on the speaker output, it rumbles a bit on the left side, which is the new one, but it doesn't blow yet. Let's see if something comes out of it. I'll just start this. No, there's apparently nothing coming. Why is that? Why is there nothing coming? It was working, at least the one channel was working before. I don't know why it's not working now. Yeah, I just double checked the data sheet, and apparently I used the wrong one, I think. Now I have the Fairchild, and it says the emitter and the base are exactly on the opposite position with this one. So I should have checked otherwise. So I just turned those around, and I hope that was the mistake I made. Yeah, let's try it again. So with the stupid mistake of putting the transistors backwards fixed, if that was really the mistake, I now have the isolation transformer running on 115 volts again, and let us try what it does. Maybe it blows up this time. Maybe it just works. Let's try again. Oh, there's something sound-wise coming. No, the left turn seems to be working. Ah, the stereo switch was... It seems to be working. Yeah, it just was the transistor stuff. Now I can turn it off and get it on full power, I think, and give it a test. Let's just turn this out. This is really dark. It looks like a dark laboratory of some sort. Yeah, let's turn it up to 220 maybe. Test this. Okay, I turn it on full power after the repair is done. Let's see what's coming. Yeah, we have lights. And we don't have any smoke, no explosions. Maybe let's turn on the speakers, shall we? Okay, normally I would test if there was DC on the outputs and stuff like that, but those these speakers I hooked up to this are not worth it, I think. Yeah. Okay, this is the right channel, left channel, both channels. Yeah, either the cable. I think maybe it's the cable even. My little cable here. It doesn't have any contact. I repaired this so many times. Yeah, at least it's working on both channels if you put it in mono. I'll try another cable maybe. Yeah! This seems to be a successful repair, I would say. Let's see what it can do. This is a really nice little thing. If you turn on the radio, look what happens with the display here. It turns on. Wow, and it's getting there. Some of the bulbs I have to replace. I have to order those and replace the bulbs in this. So far, it seems the repair, except for the little transistor issue I had, seemed to have worked fine. I think I will be back because I had a bit of fun doing this video. And maybe the next video we'll meet this little receiver again. So I call this a success. This seems to work flawlessly so far. I think I have to adjust the voltages and stuff like that, and the DC bias I have to check it with the oscilloscope and check if there's something else wrong with this thing, and replace some of the remaining caps on the other boards, I guess, because they are all 54 years old or something like that. Lubricate this, exchange the lamps for fresh ones, which I still have to order. Otherwise, this thing seems to be working quite well now. I call this a success, and I will surely make another video because I had quite a lot of fun, honestly. Yeah, so I guess this was a nice first thing to do, to show you this, and I hope you learned something maybe, because I learned a lot from YouTube, and just want to give something back to the people out there. And it's really rewarding to get into electronics and repair stuff just for the sake of not throwing it away and learning stuff, how stuff works. I think it's an art that's lost. Yeah, and you can repair stuff. And even if it's old stuff, this is easy because you can reach everything, and you can get all the service manual stuff and circuit layouts and stuff like that. But try repairing other stuff. Most of the times it's just a failed connection, a blown capacitor. If you have minimum knowledge of electronics, you can repair most anything. Yeah, that's what it's all about for me. In this YouTube channel, at least, I will repair stuff, show you stuff I found, I repair, I show you some of the tricks I gathered, I think, over time. I'm doing this for a year maybe now, or a little less than a year, and I already repair stuff like this. I mean, yeah, and it worked. It's not perfect, I know. I know that I should have gotten a matched pair of transistors. At least each channel should be a matched pair. 2 transistors should be matched for each channel, I mean. Yes, that's not perfect, but it was so expensive in this case, and I didn't want to exchange those with newer transistors in another package, you know, because all the wiring and stuff and just wouldn't look right. And I enjoy the innards of this this beautiful thing here. Yeah. So this restoration will continue, and maybe in the next video. And if you like this stuff and want to see more, just write me a message or comment on this video, or subscribe even to this channel. There will be a lot more like this. I'm really into audio restoration of this era. Sometimes doing stuff for friends of mine, repairing their audio stuff, and basically it's just, I think you can learn a lot because I'm not a professional, and I just try the best I can, and yeah. That's why I leave the mistakes, like the transistor thing, in these videos. I think because you learn the most of mistakes. I think I learned a lot from mistakes, and if you blow up something, you're angry at first, or maybe sad, or you blew up a lot of money, but the next time you won't blow up the thing, and be careful with it. So yeah, I didn't blow up this one, so both channels seem to be working. I have to check a lot on this, maybe in the next video. So hopefully see you again. I'm Jan Beta, and yeah, see you. Thanks for watching.